This is Cape Cod, a sandy peninsula extending nearly 100 miles into the North Atlantic, south of Boston, north of Providence, formed by the glaciers during the last ice age. When the glaciers retreated, their thumbprints became 1,000 spring-fed freshwater ponds, great and small, banked by sand and wild roses, surrounded by the sea. Millennia passed. These ponds supported a broad diversity of life, including fish. Some fish species migrated to the sea via a web of rivers and streams. Some of these remembered their homes and returned to the freshwater ponds to spawn. Herring. Among these ponds, one captures our attention. Red Lily Pond, today the vibrant heart of Craigville Village. Red Lily Pond was once bordered by the cranberry bogs of the Perry Brothers Farm, its freshwater channel to irrigate, and then, at the time of harvest, flood the bogs. In 1872, the Perrys gave their farm to a Congregational faith community from Connecticut, families seeking respite from the cities in the wake of the Civil War. These new visitors set up tents around a hillside tabernacle and drew upon Red Lily Pond's fresh, clean water to baptize their children, to heal the nation's wounds, to start anew. Craigville became part of the Chautauqua movement that swept across the Northeast in the final quarter of the 19th century. Today, Craigville still welcomes more than 1,000 visitors each year to the Craigville Retreat Center on Cape Cod to soothe their souls and refresh their minds alongside Red Lily Pond. But in the 20th century, as visitors flocked to Craigville and to Cape Cod, the ponds on this sandy glacial peninsula changed. By 1970, the flood of herring in and out of Red Lily Pond and other ponds each spring and summer had ebbed to a trickle. Many worldwide factors contributed to this decline. Some, but not all, of these factors are beyond the control of local citizens. The Red Lily Pond Project was formed in the 1970s to join our strength with others to save Red Lily Pond. Over the last 40 years, visitors and residents of Craigville, their friends and families, have worked to change those things they could, to turn the tide of the decline for this one pond. Soon, Red Lily Pond will once again open its arms to thousands of herring. Over the last generation, volunteers from the Red Lily Pond Project have installed a cluster septic system to serve homes along the embankment. Engineers pumped glacial sand from beneath its mucky floor to renew the sandy bottom. Neighbors waded into the briars along the eroded embankment to replant native beach plums and Rosa rugosa, which stemmed the wastewater flow from the asphalt streets. Grassy slopes hold back erosion, while overhanging native vegetation provides shade and shelter for fish and waterfowl. High school and college students built and then repaired a fish ladder. Lilies once again bloom from lily pads that provide parasols for fish and platforms for frogs. Artists gather along the shore and capture the timeless beauty of the pond. The herring will return, with your help. In 2011, neighbors identified a new threat to the pond, purple loosestrife, an invasive weed that has marched across ponds from upstate New York, across Vermont and New Hampshire, now threatens freshwater bodies in Massachusetts. The first year, this weed sprinkled the shoreline of Red Lily Pond. By 2012, it had crawled to the mouth of the herring run. By 2013, it had begun to choke the native plants, the fish, frogs, geese, ducks, turtles, and muskrats needed to sustain themselves, and the whole pond ecosystem. Neighbors feared that even the great blue heron might take wing and leave the pond forever. So they took action. During the summer, volunteers, led by board members Jim Lane and local high school biology teacher Tom Hoppenstadt, rebuilt the fish ladder. In November of 2013, 13 volunteers from AmeriCorps of Cape Cod spent a day along the embankment and in the shallows of the pond, removing the worst infestations of purple loosestrife. Red Lily Pond Project board member Dick Delaney reached out to Cornell University professor Bernd Blossy, the Northeast's foremost expert in efforts to successfully control purple loosestrife, to help the community explore a lasting solution. Red Lily Pond board members Steve Brown and Dick Delaney scoped the extent of the infestation from kayaks on the pond. Meet the 2014 team that carried the effort forward. Join them in 2014 as they set Red Lily Pond free for what the Audubon Society calls little stalks of horror. Here's Dick Delaney describing how to capture and dispose of sea pods to the team of AmeriCorps Cape Cod volunteers.
We really want to be careful that we don't distribute any more of these. This is probably 3 million seeds right here. So you may need to make these smaller, maybe start higher and just clip them so that we work our way down. It may go quicker that way.
We need the potatoes. All right, short and tall.
If you guys want to dig in and practice, this is the place to do it. It's everywhere. All of this is loosestrife. In the spring and summer, this is all purple and it looks beautiful.
Is there more hand pruners? Are there more hand pruners?
Yes.
So Josh, this is the enemy. There's probably a couple thousand seeds here, maybe more. It hasn't distributed yet, but you can see it's let some go. This plant probably has 3 million seeds.
That's a lot of seeds.
That's a lot of seeds.
Just one of them or all of them together?
Just
No,
one.
just this one plant. This will have maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 shoots on it of varying sizes. I'm going to estimate this at its top to be about 5 feet tall.
Interesting.
You can switch if you get bored.
Yeah, just some go.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Oh, Mary Lynn.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been to Craigsville Beach before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Cool beach, isn't it?
It is, yeah. All my friends are from college or from Cape Cod.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Where are you at school?
I am at some point getting a charger,
Okay.
if you have one, by chance.
I do.
Here, the volunteers practice heavy lifting to remove the massive purple loosestrife roots from the shallows of the pond. Then, volunteers waded into the top of the herring run to open a clear channel for herring in the spring. Red Lily Pond board member Tom Kirk and 16-year-old videographer Joshua Gowdy captured the day with their trusty iPod. What's next? 2014 will bring back AmeriCorps and other environmental groups to experiment with new technologies for controlling purple loosestrife and other invasive plant species. We plan to replace the collapsing pipe under the beach path with a sturdy bridge over the herring run. Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries personnel will continue to monitor the pond's pH, dissolved oxygen, and temperature to document a healthy habitat for stocking herring in the summer of 2015 and 2016. Members and friends of the Red Lily Pond Project will continue to work together with nonprofit organizations across Cape Cod, as well as business and government leaders, to protect and preserve all the ponds on this sandy little peninsula, the streams, marshes, estuaries, and ocean, which together comprise one of the healthiest, most productive aquatic ecosystems in North America, supporting a broad diversity of native plants, waterfowl, fish, shellfish, amphibians, and wildlife. Be part of this effort. For more information, contact the Red Lily Pond Project, 173 Lake Elizabeth Drive, Craigville, Massachusetts, 02632, or email redlilypond@gmail.com.